Hey guys, it's your girl Chelley from the Chelley Roy Show, the hottest talk show in the DMV. Listen guys, I know you guys have been waiting and wanting to hear what I've been up to. I've been working on some amazing projects. Most recently, I had the pleasure and honor of interviewing Miss Iyanla Vanzant, who's an African-American teacher, writer, speaker on many subjects such as spirituality, self-development, and more. This interview left me so inspired and motivated as Iyanla took me on a journey of where and how it all began, starting with her daughter's legacy of the Masterpiece Body Therapy product line. The Masterpiece product line helps you to tap into centuries of wisdom that helps to define and facilitate good health, self-care, and self-love. You guys help me welcome Miss Iyanla Vanzant.
First of all, thank everybody for showing up, for being here today. I am always both amazed and humbled at the number of people who know my work, who support it, because of course, while people can see me, I can't always see all of the people who are out there. So I really do appreciate the support. I appreciate just even the curiosity about what it is that I might be doing in my life. So Masterpiece Body Therapy is a line of products that was originally started by my daughter, Jamia. Jamia was from her youngest age just really drawn to scents, and how they enhance your feeling. I mean, I couldn't keep her out of my perfume when she was a baby. And then at 16, just on her own, she started studying essential oils. Now, I am a homegrown herbalist. My mother is a Tsleiki or Cherokee, something that many people don't know. But she was a master herbalist. She could go out in the yard and make concoctions to do everything. And I did it with her. Plus, she made homemade soap. My grandmother made lye soap, which I hated. I wanted to use Camay and Dove and things that left a scent on you. My grandmother made blue soap or brown soap. It was ugly. She mixed it up in the kitchen, and but she always put herbs in it. And she taught me about herbs walking in the garden in our family home in Smithfield, Virginia. So when Jamia got older and she started making her essential oil concoction, she would always ask me, well, what's the herb that does this? And what's the herb that does that? And by the time she was 19, she was making a product for hair because Jamia was very sensitive to energy, even as a child. The sun, the moon, the wind, she always talked about, oh, that doesn't feel good, or come here, this feels good. How does this feel? She never would say, what do you think about this? She says, how does this feel to you? So she was always very sensitive to energy. And so when she, probably around the age of 23, started the Masterpiece line, making her own little homegrown products, because her thing was hair. She said hair was like an antenna, and it picked up energy and it gave off energy. So she started by making a conditioner and a shampoo using essential oils and herbs. And she would ask me, well, what about this? And if you want to feel better, and if you're sad, so I would tell her about these herbs. So she continued to increase and grow the line. And by the time she made her transition at the age of 31, as a result of colorectal cancer, she had established this line that we just really passed around among our friends. She sold some when I went to do a workshop with her handmade labels, like everybody does. But after her transition, she passed in 2003. And in 2006, I was guided to pick the line up and make it again, but focusing really on the energy around the person and on the person. And I was guided to use African black soap because African black soap is a less caustic product. It doesn't have the same amounts of lye and dye and things that many commercial products do. So I started with African black soap, grading it myself, experimenting, giving it to my friends. And every time I would come up with a new product, I would give it to friends and they loved it. So I really started focusing on it. What is this? What is this product? And with the African black soap and the combinations of essential herbs, essential oils, and herbs.
Hi, Iyanla. My name is Chelley from Chelley Roy Studio Productions. My question is, what is the overall connection and health benefit one would gain from using your products?
It's really a product that supports people in clearing and cleaning their energy as they cleanse their body with a friendly, let me say a friendly product, which African black soap is. You know, most of the pharmaceuticals that we use in the world, when we're taking a pill, whether it's an aspirin, an Aleve, or Motrin, it has at its base and its root combination something herbal, something medicinal. Most pharmaceuticals come from a herbal formula, or they're trying to copy an herbal formula. And I just took it back to, you know, my history, my ancestry as a Native American and a descendant of Africans. You know, when you think Africa, you think in terms of ancient wisdom, you think in terms of natural products. And that's why the African black soap was so important for me. So, really just starting to market and move it out into the world and get people accustomed to really understanding that you are responsible for the energy that you bring into any space, and that you are a being of energy, and that energy exudes from you and you attract energy. When you're in a place and you say something don't feel right here, that's energy. Or when you say that person got really negative energy, but do we know what we're talking about? And sometimes it's a function of how we think. Sometimes it's a function of our emotional being. Sometimes it's a function of where we are and what we're doing. So that was really the intention behind the Masterpiece line. Fast forward the pandemic, where people were just in fear and in loss of, because all of the normal things that we did to bring meaning to our life, to bring value to our life, and also the things that brought us comfort were disrupted. And what I just really became so clearly aware of is people are not conscious or aware of how their thinking and their feeling and their experience creates a veil of energy around them. The pandemic stirred up so much fear and so much anger, and just, I know you know. So that's when we said, okay, let's put it out there. Let's take Masterpiece to a whole nother level. So for me, beyond just the body products, this is a movement. For me, Masterpiece is becoming a movement of really teaching people and sharing with people how to master your energy and how to have peace. Because if you don't have peace of mind, if you don't have peace in your heart, if you don't have peace in your life, everything else is going to be chaotic. So we've been moving the Masterpiece body therapy line, specifically the body wash and the body butter. Now, every product has a specific purpose. We've named them, and the herbal combination, the oil combination, because the scents are very important in terms of our energy. Your scent is the only physical sense that we have that doesn't get processed through the brain. Scent goes right into the olfactory nerves, and you remember, and it stimulates memory simply by a smell. You can be blindfolded and nobody has to tell you what a banana is, what an orange is. You can walk in the room and say, smells like collard greens or cabbage. Why? Because your olfactory nerves are the only thing that creates memory. So with our herbal combination and our essential oil combination, our scent combination, we have created formulas to stimulate certain experiences so that people can begin to clear their energy to create peace. So the body therapy products, the body wash, the body butter, the salt scrubs, really has been created to support people in creating and mastering an energy of peace, first around the physical body and then in the mind and in the heart. And my favorite, clearing and releasing, because we're living in such a toxic environment. There's so many energetic toxins, people, the news, I could go on, but clearing and releasing just cuts. It's antiseptic, if you will. It's emotionally and spiritually antiseptic, and it cuts energy off of your body after a hard, rough day. Why a luxury body product? Because I think that we're worth it. I think that in today's world, particularly those of us who are studying and contributing to the well-being, whether it's in media and healthcare, or even just stay-at-home moms, we need luxury. We need to take better care of ourselves. We need to up-level our self-care. And I'm hoping that master peace and mastering your peace will become a mainstay in homes, and that we become more conscious of, sensitive to, and responsible for the energy we carry, the energy we create, the energy that we absorb, and the energy that we exude. So that's my little speech, my little spiel. I bless and release all things seen and unseen, known and unknown, that block, delay, hinder, or deny my highest good. Imagine putting that on your body. I'm releasing everything and everyone now. That's where the next part comes in. So I am teaching a class right now on healing ancestral patterns, so that as things start to leave your life, you can recognize, okay, that's leaving because it's no longer serving my highest good. Oh, he's leaving, she's leaving, they're leaving. This is going away because it's no longer serving my highest and greatest good. So that I now recognize the patterns that I live, unconscious patterns, because I saw them, I inherited them, I was taught them, and these patterns are going away because it no longer serves my highest good. So when you're using this product and you're putting the herbs and the energy in the oils into your energy field, and you're doing the class and you're doing the affirmations and you're doing the meditations and you're doing the journal work, it's easier for you to let things and people go because you understand it's part of a healing. I do both growth work and healing work. Healing ancestral patterns is deep healing work that so many of us need. I have a product, a masterpiece body product called Quita Maldición, which is the curse remover. And it's made with herbs and oils, a specific herb that I have it picked, hand-picked and sent to me, that we dry and grind and put in the African black soap, because it creates a disruption in the toxic energy fields on our body. And many of us walk in and live in ancestral curses, whether it's poverty or dysfunction in relationships or self-denial or unworthiness, or we inherit these things. It's in our DNA, and we're always exuding this energy. Quita Maldición begins to cut it and break it off your body so that you can think differently, feel differently, behave differently. That's just one of the products. And we have Quita Maldición both as a body wash and as a room spray. So when you can spray it, you can put it on your pillow. So when you're sleeping, the energies start infusing themselves into your being and your body. So our ancestors knew this. Our ancestors knew how to take care of both the physical and the etheric, or the emotional, the mental, the spiritual body. They knew it, and they just did it as a part of everyday activities, whether it was prayer in the morning, whether it was how they blessed their children. The one thing that has such made an imprint on my being, and I remember it well, in the movie Roots. I know some of y'all are younger than Roots is, but that's okay. In the movie Roots, when Kunta Kinte took Kizzy outside and lifted her up to the stars and said, "Behold, the only thing greater than yourself." Yeah. Well, how do we get in contact with the only thing greater than ourselves? It's not just in washing our body, it's in how we care for ourselves and being mindful of everything that goes onto and into this incredible vehicle that we call a body, that we call a body. And so for me, just being mindful of that, wanting to do better at it, using things that support it is self-love. But the actual doing of it is self-care. You know, one of the things that my next step after this step, I go in the store sometime and I want to get sleepwear. And I say, these are the ugliest darn pajamas I've ever seen in my life. Why would somebody want to sleep with skull and crossbones on their butt? You know, when your body is at rest and your spirit is open and your consciousness is flowing, you don't need skulls and crossbones or reindeer or skeletons on your butt. And the color matters too. All of this is energetic. So my intention is to just educate people and bring them to a new awareness of how we can get better use out of this vehicle. Because the one thing the pandemic showed me was how addicted we were to external, where we got value and meaning and joy and external, and didn't even know how to be with ourselves. I had a ball. I had a blast, me and the dogs and the turtle, because I was home, I was napping, I was cooking for myself, I was eating, I'm a riot. I have fun with me, on all levels. People were freaking out just to be with themselves. I didn't feel lonely because I've mastered peace. So instead of being on the internet or with other people, I was in my prayer room. Okay. Some people don't even know that you got to pray every day, or at least center, get still. So in my spiritual sanctuary study class on Sunday mornings, I'm teaching people the value of silence, teaching them the value of silence. So, and I'm recommending to them peace and calm so that you can go through a day recognizing the value of silence. What my father told me: sit down, shut up, and listen. Not out there, but in here. That to me is the ultimate of self-love and self-care. We're codependent on everybody and everything outside of ourselves, and that's fine until we get to be 18. But then we have to become interdependent, both interdependent on our inner resources and interdependent on resources around us. But for so many of us, the dysfunction that we experience and that we experience doesn't teach us how to be interdependent. So we try to be independent. And again, our human capacity is limited. If the pandemic didn't teach us anything, I pray that it taught us how we have to become more self-aware, self-realized, and self-reliant so that we can be more interdependent, mingling with the right people at the right time in the right way. Self-care is a part of that. Understanding who you are on all levels, not just what you do. You cannot care for yourself if you don't understand who you are mentally, who you are physically, who you are emotionally, who you are spiritually. Self-care is bringing all of that together. And we masterpiece, mastering peace, both as masterpiece, both as a movement, an educational movement, an inspirational movement, and masterpiece body therapy as a product will help you become more consciously connected to and aware of who you are, so we can eliminate some of the dysfunctional codependence that we have on everything and everyone outside of our body. You know how many people would lose their minds and their teeth would fall out if they couldn't be on social media every day? People don't know how to be with themselves. And that's because we're taught to take care of everything and everyone outside of ourselves. So that is my goal for Masterpiece. Masterpiece, not just as a product, but also as a form of radical self-care. If this whole system were to shut down, that's the TV, the light, the gas, the whatever, sure, it would be uncomfortable, but how many days could you survive? I think I could do 90, me personally, before I started, eating bugs and scratching at the wall. I think I could do 90. How many can you do? How many can you do if you're externally referenced and codependent on everything other than you, your source, your creator, your God? Be willing to elevate your self-care into ritual. Ritual is a consistent way of doing something with a specific intention. Eating is a ritual. Brushing your teeth is a ritual. How you set your table. We got Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's Eve coming up. All of those are rituals from a spiritual perspective. Do you have a self-care ritual? Do you have a self-care ritual beyond your nails, your hair, your barber that you do for yourself? Like I said, imagine putting on a body butter and instead of just slathering it on, you are affirming. I'm calling forth my highest and my greatest good. I'm attracting all things that are good for me. I'm moving toward an experience and expression of peace. Intentionality in how you care for yourself. And that's the goal behind Masterpiece products. That's why every single product comes with an affirmation and is intentionally made, the combination of herbs and oil.
Wow, what an amazing journey you've taken us on. Iyanla, I can't thank you enough for allowing me to be a part of this media conference and taking a brief moment to speak with you about your Masterpiece product line. You guys heard it here first. Be sure to check out her website. You can order your products today at masterpiecebodytherapy.com.
Do you or anyone you know have a business or a brand you want to promote? Would you like to be a guest or be a part of our studio audience? If so, contact us at thechelleyroyshow@gmail.com or contact us on Instagram at thechelleyroyshow. Can't wait to hear from you guys.